Alright, it's a new day, and as you can see, the motor's out, and I've done a little bit of tear down on it, not too much, but yeah, it wasn't too bad actually. Came out pretty easily with 2 people, but man, is it a mess in here. Holy cow. There's a lot of lines. All of these power steering lines that run back and forth, I assume a lot of them are for Hikis, even though it's all deleted. So we're definitely gonna have to make some custom lines to delete all this, or some of it at least. Clean. These are what went to the pump, and looks like they go. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to do some more research, but they're all over the place. But yeah, we'll scrub down. We'll probably drop the subframe, do some more bushings, and then scrub this whole bay out, try to clean it as much as possible. And then we get to the motor, which looks pretty good, but got the intake manifold and plenum off, laying over here. Got all the heater core lines and all the lines that run underneath the intake manifold down here off, and I plan to loop it. I think one outlet's here, and we can loop those and delete the heater core in the car, so that'll be good. Got a new water pump coming. Timing set is pretty new. I did that about a year ago, but I'll check it over just to make sure. Got the crank pulled out loose, and I just got to go get a puller to pull the harmonic balancer off. What else? Got some of the turbo lines off. Most of the studs for the exhaust manifold are off. One I barely even put pressure on, and it just straight up snaps, like without barely any force. So that was kind of weird, but yeah. We got the valve covers off, and they've been off a couple times before, but it looks fairly good under here. A little bit of wear on some of the cams, but nothing alarming. So we'll get all those out and put them over here with the rest of our pile. We're gonna get all of this, the timing covers, the lower timing cover, and the valve covers powder coated or painted some color, I'm not sure yet. Maybe wrinkle black would look kind of cool. Since we're deleting this here and doing the forward facing top of the plenum, because I'm just going to get an eBay one, because I can't be bothered to spend $1,000 on a whole plenum for this little guy. So they work just fine. I've heard only good things about them, so we'll do that and try to run it back through this hole we drilled a while ago for the intercooler piping. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. Made a little bit of progress on the engine. Got the harmonic balancer off, and found this chip on there that's not from me, so I don't know, because I didn't even use I wasn't stupid and used the ones that just cramp from the back. I don't know how to explain it, but I used the real one where you can tap into these holes. Yeah, front of the motor, the timing set still looks good. You can see all the hardware is new. All the pulleys are new. Belt's still looking really good. No signs of any wear on it yet, so I think that's gonna stay. And then we got the compressor housing off to get to this last bolt, which is kind of annoying, but pretty cool look. All right, so we got a bit of progress done here. We got cams out. Some of the bolts were really quite tight and they're scaring me. I was scared they're gonna snap. Just 2 of them, but it came off eventually. I think I'm gonna take the head off tomorrow, but it's ready to come out. We have this bolt that a lot of people forget about back here. So Shouldn't be a pain to come off. And we got everything laid out here. It all looks pretty good. Bit of a mess in the garage now, but tomorrow we can get the head off and it'll be good to go. Alright, it's a new day, and I don't remember the last time I left off, but quite a lot of things have happened, I think, since I last left off. Garage is a complete mess now. I don't even know where to start. So we cleaned up all the power steering lines and that factory cooler, but yeah, that's all gone. So it's a simple system in and out now through the pump, through the reservoir, as it should be. We can add a cooler when we get to next season to see, get some track days in and see if we need one, and if we don't, then I'll stay with that one. Let's see, we got the passenger seat out, fire extinguisher out, and that means that we have been doing some interior stuff, which we have been. We'll come to this later, but yeah, huge mess, but it's probably for the best. Got the carpet out, kind of smells. I think it's gotten wet a couple times, but it's already smelling better in here, honestly. So that's all out. Still gotta get some dry ice to get all of the sound out of here. Because there's lots of it all over here and everywhere. I literally just got the carpet out 3 seconds ago, so the wiring in here is still kind of a mess. But honestly, there's not too many wires running back and forth in the chassis, so I'm pretty confident we can make it look really good, with like 3 strands running back, because we can probably reroute all this to run on the passenger side right here, transmission tunnel back, and there's stuff like this, the rear wiper spray, which we definitely don't need, all these vents we don't need, the cat temperature sensor, I guess we don't need that because that's not plugged in. There's no cat on this car. We stripped a ton of wiring out of here from the previous owner in Japan. Turbo timing wiring, everything. I could throw in a clip now from last night when we did that. So we got everything pulled off here, and we found this box underneath the center console. We have no idea what it is, but judging by this, it does not look factory at all. So that explains all the wires running under here. And that was like all right here, and that's all gone now. But yeah, it's actually pretty excited how this is going to turn out, because the seats will be covering most of this. Then I can probably build a little aluminum flat plate for you know, your heels for the pedals. That would look pretty cool. Not sure what I'm gonna do about the dash yet. It's gonna have to come out for the cage, but if I want to flock it or not, I'm not sure at this point. Maybe later on this winter when yeah, some of the other projects are done here, so I don't get too overwhelmed, but because again, I'm doing most of this myself and with one other guy, so it's quite a lot of work for 2 people. So yeah, I got the battery relocation. This big, I think 0 gauge or 00. Yeah, 0 ran through the fender well. We'll figure out where it's going to go through the cabin. Goes through a hole in the rear trunk, fire cover, I guess it's called. I don't know. But then we're gonna not zip tie it, we're gonna actually secure it down, and we're gonna have the battery right here on the opposite side of the driver. What else? Oh yeah, the motor. So last night we decided to tear it down a little bit further to look it over a little bit, and there was a small alarming thing at first where, let me get a light. Well, everything looked pretty good. The thrust on the crank's good. Doesn't look like there's too much oil gunk. Yeah, I mean, the bearings are not wobbly or anything, but when we did pull the pan off, we did find a pretty big piece of metal shaving right here. So not sure if that's from a bearing or where that's from, but not the best sign, unfortunately. But there was not any more big chunks in the pan, a couple of little flakes, but you know, it's not a new motor. So that's kind of to be expected, I guess. But there wasn't anything alarming. And then another thing we did with the power steering pump, since we tore out all the rear lines for the Hikis, that there's this one that goes to the front port, and then another one that would be right here that went to this back port right here. And since we tore that out, and I'm not too keen on buying I guess it's from a 33 gtst or a r32 pump, I decided to modify this one. So we took this backing plate off and pulled it out and saw that it's a vane driven pump. So pretty much what you can do is just pull out a couple of vanes through here out of the rear centrifugal pump, and pretty much it won't make any pressure anymore in the rear port. So we're gonna get a bolt to plug that off and we should be good. A couple parts came in: new water pump, transmission alignment dowel. We got our 200 amp fuse block here for our battery relocation. And what else? We found a machine shop that the head's going to go to, so we have to take all the valves out, all the lifters out, everything out, studs out, and that's going to get dequeened, and he's going to do the decking on it, and got it for a got to do it for a really good price, so pretty happy about that. And then once that comes back, well, really we're waiting on the gasket kit now, but when the gasket kit comes in, we'll throw the oil pan back on, do up all the other gaskets, flip the motor over, head gasket, figure out what we're doing with all this. I did order the replacement for this, so it's going to be a front facing top piece of the manifold, which will bolt on top of the lower plenums, which is nice because the lower plenum has the long runners, which you need with the r32. So that's going to look cool. I don't know if we're going to have to drill another hole up here, or if we can run it through this hole or what, but we'll figure that out later on when we can mock up the motor. I got a new master cylinder coming in from I think actually a 97 Pathfinder or something weird, but apparently it's a direct fit, so we'll see if that's the case. But yeah, I guess we got a bit of interior cleanup work to do now. Let's get to work. Alright, so an update for where we're finishing today. We pulled out a bunch of wiring and the rear, I guess, the wiper bottle sprayer hose, but that's all out. And let me get a light here real quick. Oh yeah, we also pulled out the heat sensor for the cat. A couple other, honestly, some wires that I don't really know what they do, but I have a feeling they're going to the rear speakers, so I pulled them out. This is just for my reference, but there's one ground wire that's hidden in here that I taped off. That was connected to the wires that ran up there, and I'm not sure if they're for the speakers or not, but I don't have it grounded right now, so if it doesn't start, it's probably an issue. What else? I really want to clean up this more. I think I'm going to end up running this power cable around through the dash and either down this side right here on the sill or along the transmission tunnel, like I said earlier. I'm not sure yet, but it's going to depend where I can go to the back wall here, because it depends where the cage design is going to be, where the rear point's going to mount. But there's also some boxes under here that I think are for probably like Hikis and I don't even know, maybe an amp and something else. But I looked online, couldn't find much about it. Found one person saying that if you take it out, or one of the boxes out, then the car won't start. I don't know how true that is, but that was scaring me a little bit. So I think I'm gonna try to get everything together and, well, hopefully crank the motor and see that we don't have an ignition switch issue somewhere before I start messing with these boxes back here. That's probably the smartest move. I think because all the wires that go to the taillights, I think, if anyone in the comments knows too, they can help, but I think that's in this loom here, which runs back through here. And I think it's this little loom right here. And then all this stuff is for all those boxes, computers and stuff. So I'll have to do some more research on that, but this is where we're ending off tonight, and yeah, we got quite a bit done.